You say you have a new child. Your counsel has told me you have a newborn, that you have finally, the haze has been cleared and you're finally going to do what needs to be done. In each of these cases, in one case, you're looking at 20 years if you're revoked. In the other case, you're looking at 10 years if you're revoked. So from here on out, everything you do, you need to ask yourself two questions. Is this something that could potentially result in me being revoked? If the answer is yes, don't do it. So the other reason why I had this case recalled back, because this is actually a tough case, right? And it's a tough case. And when you read it on the surface, you should be going to prison. But then there are other things for me to consider as well. The fact that you have a child and it appears that you have um, changed your life, and defense, I believe yesterday you said that she was being accepted into felony drug court.
Yes, Judge, and also I had some argument for the court too. The court was ready, but that is correct, Judge. She was screened for felony drug court. They did not accept her because at the time she had not done sentence. But I verified with felony drug court that should she be placed on probation, they're able to accept her in and can squeeze her in next week.
All right, so state.
Yes, Judge.
I understand why the reason you're asking for prison time. I do, and I want you, Ms. Settle, to internalize what I'm saying. What I'm considering is the fact that she has a child. It appears that she has changed. Sometimes it takes people a long time to have a wake-up call. I still don't understand why you keep having children when your life is not where it should be. But usually when people are addicted to drugs, they're not thinking appropriately to begin with. They're not thinking about the future. They're not thinking about how their drug use will impact everyone else. And state on this case, I see that you're asking for a cap of 6 years in the prison. And one case is a second-degree felony. And the other case is a third-degree felony. And I'm assuming she has restitution to pay?
If it isn't included in that plea bargain right there, Judge, then no certain amount.
All right. So we're going to see the amount of restitution, and state you've had a chance to hear her testimony. Are you still going to be requesting prison time?
Judge, the position of the state is that this offer was made considering the history, the knowledge that Ms. Settle has been before this court previously, also with a new child, asking for the same type of leniency and treatment, and was offered that leniency and treatment and turned it down and returned directly to that life. And so it's not just Ms. Settle the state is concerned about, but it's Ms. Settle's children, it's Ms. Settle's family, and it's Ms. Settle's community, many of which were victims of Ms. Settle. And that is the reason the state is opposed. But the state is cognizant of what appears to be genuine changes in Ms. Settle's life.
All right. And I know that this involves her mother.
Yes, Judge. So the world is an ironic place. It turns out I'm appointed to represent Miss Settle, but I have known Miss Settle since she was about knee high. I've known the complainant, her mother, and also her brother, who's referenced in the PSI, someone that I went to high school with, was close friends with. Mm-hmm. So I've known this family a long time. I've spoken to the complainant, to her mother, Judge. Mm-hmm. She is certainly at wit's end with Miss Settle. She's spent a great deal of money helping her out, trying to get her on her feet. But it is also clear in the PSI that she is seeing and she's witnessed some of the changes that Miss Settle has made in her life and has made. And the question came up yesterday, Judge, what's different or what's changed? Mm-hmm. And I think the distinction between this time and last time she did not do what she was supposed to do for you, Judge. It's very clear in the PSI. Back in 2020, she was going for things. She was released from the jail accidentally. She skipped out on GPS. There were all sorts of issues, Judge. In this instance, since both when she was arrested and then certainly after being released on bond, she's made great strides to try and do what she's supposed to do. She's been on GPS. She's been compliant. She's been enrolling programs. She was trying to be a parent to her mother or to her child. She's also shown up here today, Judge. She's not run off. She's not fled. She's not skipping out on things. And when you're talking about therapeutic justice, Judge, when someone's an addict, there's no such thing as a cure. But it seems to me like she's trying to make some legitimate life changes. And I think society and Miss Settle would be served better by trying to get her some therapeutic justice and trying to continue her down this path rather than sending her to prison again.
All right. So the court is going to give you a choice. Some people say my probation is very difficult. I'm sure you're aware of that, as I've sentenced you before for not doing what you're supposed to do. I'm going to give you a choice. I can sentence you today, and I will sentence you to 3 years in the prison. Otherwise, the plea negotiation needs to be reworked. And by that, this is what I mean. The case that's a second-degree felony, I will give you deferred adjudication. And if you were revoked, you're looking at 20 years in the prison. Do you understand?
Sure.
And then on the case that's a third-degree felony, I would convict you, but I want the underlying to be 10 years.
Judge, you'd like the opportunity for probation, Your Honor?
All right, so normally, legally and ethically, I'm not allowed to interfere with negotiations. But what I'm telling you and telling your client on the cap of 6 offer, for me to request that it be an underlying of a cap of 10, that's changing your plea negotiations.
So the only one we would need to change is the one with the conviction, so the third degree.
Yes.
This court could give them 10 years deferred on a cap of 6. Post.
Well, no, on the unlawful, we're off the record, on the unlawful possession of the court wants a conviction on that case.
Okay.
So there will be guilty, but I want her underlying to be the 10 years.
Understood.
And then on the other case at the second degree, I'll give her the deferred adjudication. All right. Then in cause number 2025 CR 000240, the court is going to grant your application for deferred adjudication. Court is going to sentence you to 10 years deferred adjudication. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. This is to run concurrent with 2024 CR 013090. With regards to this, no harmful or injurious contact with KPEC and family. And then there's no contact with Linda Vargas, Destiny Thurston, Juan Uriega.
Uriega, Judge.
Yeah, thank you. I look at Deputy Laura because she's like, I'm trying to teach you. David Getz, Goetz, or Dick Creamer. And there'll be restitution, if any, to all complainants. If there's an issue with the restitution amount, we can have a restitution hearing. And Ms. Ferguson, can you set this in 45 days for restitution hearing, please? In case there is any.
Fair enough.
All right, what date? All right, we're going to come back on September 11th and state this just to see if there's any restitution amount that's owed, and we'll have a restitution hearing on that day. Next, we're moving to cause number 2024 CR 01309. All right, the court is going to find you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 10 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 10 years. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. Proof of employment within 45 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 200 hours of community service restitution. The court will show that 100 hours is satisfied upon the completion of parenting classes. GPS. You say you have a new child. Your counsel has told me you have a newborn, that you have finally, the haze has been cleared and you're finally going to do what needs to be done. In each of these cases, in one case, you're looking at 20 years if you're revoked. In the other case, you're looking at 10 years if you're revoked. So from here on out, everything you do, you need to ask yourself 2 questions. Is this something that could potentially result in me being revoked? If the answer is yes, don't do it. If the answer is maybe, don't do it. If there's anything else that's in between, you need to contact your attorney. Do you understand? All right. And if you're not going to do it for yourself, you need to do it for your child. All right. Thank you, counsel. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Judge.
you. It's always great seeing both of you guys.
You too, Judge.
All right. Thank you.